Hello, Russian learners! Do you know how to say thank you in Russian? Of course you do. Even though we don't celebrate Thanksgiving Day in Russia, we still use this famous word for thanks a lot. But what are these words? And how are they different from Spasiba? Keep watching to find out. First of all, let me make things clearer about the word Blagodarю. You know, it's one of the translations for thank you. But where does it come from? It comes from the verb благодарить. Well, actually, it's one of the forms of this verb. Благодарить, to thank. And благодарю is the я form. So literally, I thank. I thank you. You is implied when you just say благодарю. This is a very interesting verb because it consists of two roots, blaga and дарить. Blaga is another word for добро, for good or good things. And дарить, there is a separate verb, дарить, which means to give as a gift. So when you say благодарю, you mean kind of, I give you good. I give you blaga. And this is the most common usage of this verb. But also, we can use it in a sentence. So we will see how we do it later. And now let's look at the forms of the verb. It's a second conjugation verb, the same group as the verb говорить. So, я благодарю, ты благодаришь, он, она благодарит, мы благодарим, вы благодарите, они благодарят. And since it's a verb, we have the subject of the verb. Here it's I, я благодарю. And you will be the object if we want to include you in the sentence. For example, when we say благодарю вас, вас is the object form of you. So we will use this verb with object forms of pronouns and nouns. We will say благодарю вас, благодарю тебя, благодарю ее, его, их, and so on. For example, благодарю вас за поддержку. За поддержку. For support. Благодарю за что? Remember the question word will be за что? За поддержку. And if we want to pose the question for this member of the sentence or the object, we will use the question word кого. For example, кого ты благодаришь? Whom are you thanking? I'm thanking you. Я благодарю вас. And we can also use it in another type of sentence. For example, what are you thanking me for? Or for what are you thanking me? За что вы меня благодарите? Here we can replace меня with some other object form. For example, what are you thanking them for? За что вы их благодарите? So you see, this verb can be used differently. And this word, this form, благодарю, is just one of the usages. It's a synonym to спасибо. But they're different, and I will tell you what the difference is a bit later. And now we are moving on to another word, благодаря. The word благодаря is related to the verb благодарить, but it's not the form of this verb. It's just a derivative, and actually it's a preposition, which means thanks to. We use it with the recipient form of noun or pronoun, or the dative case. For example, благодаря вам, thanks to you. So вам here is the recipient form, not the object form. To you, вам, formal. Благодаря тебе, thanks to you, informal. Благодаря ему, to him. Благодаря ей, to her, and so on. Благодаря вам теперь я знаю, как это сделать. So it's like an introductory word, or you can begin your sentence with it. Thanks to you, благодаря вам, теперь я знаю, как это сделать. Next one. Благодаря интернету я могу проводить уроки из дома. So here we have the noun internet in its recipient form, in dative case, интернету, because it follows the preposition благодаря. And we can actually switch these parts around. Я могу проводить уроки из дома благодаря интернету. So we can put it at the end of the sentence. Same here. Теперь я знаю, как это сделать благодаря вам. We can also use this formula, this preposition, in a sarcastic meaning. So it's not a positive meaning. For example, your friend delayed you for some reason and you didn't manage to make it in time for a very important meeting. And you can say, отлично, great. Теперь, благодаря тебе, я не успеваю на встречу. So here, благодаря is used in a figurative meaning. I'm not thanking you for that because that's a bad thing for me. But to tell your friend you were the reason for that, I can use благодаря, благодаря тебе. Blagodarian is another derivative from the verb благодарить, and it's here a short adjective. So it's a word that is used to describe a noun or a pronoun. And here we are dealing with a short adjective. So these adjectives are special. I think I will make another video on them. Today we are just looking at the word, the adjective Blagodarian. So since it is used to describe male, female persons, plural persons, it has different forms. Blagodarian is the masculine form. Благодарна, feminine form. Благодарны, plural form. And we can also look at how it will be used in the past and future. So, in the present, it's я благодарен, just I am grateful, means grateful or thankful. Я благодарна, if you are a woman. Мы благодарны, we are grateful. And in the past, we will just add the verb быть, to be, in the past tense. Я был благодарен. Я была благодарна. Мы были благодарны. And same in the future tense. I will be grateful. Я буду благодарен. Or, if said by a woman, я буду благодарна. Мы будем благодарны. We will be grateful. Let's look at some examples. Я так благодарен вам за все. So here we use this short adjective to underline that I am very grateful. It's more than just saying благодарю, because благодарю is a synonym of спасибо. It's just a word that means thank you. But here we express deeper feelings, so we really want to let the other person know that we are grateful to them. Я так благодарен вам за все. I'm so grateful to you for everything. Next example. Когда-то давно он помог ей, и она всю жизнь была ему благодарна. Here we use it in the past tense. Она была благодарна. She was grateful. By the way, this short adjective, grateful, is also used with dative case or recipient form. Она была благодарна ему, to him. Я благодарен вам, to you. And the third example. Буду благодарна за любую помощь. Here it's used for requesting help. So if you want to request help from somebody, you can use this formula. Буду благодарна or буду благодарен. So it's kind of a very nice, polite way to ask for something. You can also use it with the if clause. If you do something, I will be grateful. Если вы мне поможете, буду вам очень благодарен. If you help me, I will be very grateful to you. So remember this formula, the future tense. Буду благодарен or буду благодарна, если, if something. Хорошо, very good. And now let's look at the difference between спасибо and благодарю. So students often ask me, what is the difference between спасибо and благодарю? Are they interchangeable or not? So the most common opinion is that благодарю is used more often in the formal speech, in formal contexts. And I will agree with that because in a formal written conversation, you will definitely find благодарю more often than спасибо. But this is not the only difference between them. Благодарю, as I already told you, means дарю благо. I'm giving good. Well, спасибо also has a phrase that preceded this word. The etymology of this is спаси Бог. May God save you. But the word спасибо is used so frequently in our everyday life that it already lost its sacred meaning. So people use it always, all the time. If somebody passes you salt at the table, you say спасибо. If you buy something at the store, then you say спасибо when you part with the salesperson. So we always use it. That is why now спасибо is just very cultural word. You just need to know it to be able to function successfully in this society. And it's like your pass to the Russian society. If you say спасибо, people will accept you, people will think you are one of them. So it lost its expressive character, but благодарю still has this strong expressive meaning. So if you want to really thank someone for something, благодарю will be a stronger word. You can also use спасибо, so you can use both, but if you use спасибо, you will add other words to that, like большое спасибо, big thank you, or огромное спасибо, if you really, really want to thank this person for something. Again, спасибо is now more neutral in its meaning. You have to emphasize it with other words to make it really strong, but благодарю already has this strong flair. So my recommendation is to use благодарю only in very special occasions. Don't use it too often because, as I said, for some little things we use спасибо, And if you use Blagodaru, this strong word, for minor things like passing the salt at the table, people might think you are just trying to show off to be different from other people. If you don't want to make this impression on people, don't use Blagodaru too often. Use it only if it's a special occasion, you really want to thank someone for something important. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Я благодарю вас за просмотр. Я благодарна вам за ваши лайки и комментарии. So put your comments if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video. Let's achieve Russian proficiency together.